The Red One U podcast, Allen Americans head coach and general manager Steve Martinson coming to us this morning from Logan Airport in Boston. Great name, by the way, there. Let's start, first of all, with some key signings this summer. Brandon Truk is one that intrigues me. You look at his experience around the on cue. There's a announcement. Steve Martinson, please report to gate B12.
Not yet.
Not yet. Brandon Truk, he's one that intrigues me. A player that has got a lot of American Hockey League experience. What's he going to bring to our lineup?
Well, Brandon's just a big, strong power forward. I mean, he's not as physical as he is a goal scorer, but he's a big, strong guy that's good in front of the net. Obviously, he finishes his checks, but he's a big guy that can get around the ice well, and he's scored everywhere he's been. So, he scored in the American League. He scored in, actually when the season ended a year ago, he was up in the American League. I think he scored 3 or 4 goals or 3 goals in 10 games. So he's a guy we're counting on to score a lot of goals this year.
Miles Liberati's another one too. As we've talked about before in the past, when he was here before, he played behind some pretty big names, Eric Roy, Schwannard, but he gets an opportunity at Tulsa and really put up big numbers. It was great on the power play for them a couple of years ago. With the time this year, do you expect him to put up another potential 50-point season?
Well, I think he's counting on that, and we're counting on that too. I mean, we want him to go forward, even though he didn't play last year. A lot of players are coming back that you see it, that didn't play due to COVID. But he's proven that he can do it, and I always say if you did it once, you can do it again. So we always like his passing coming out of the zone. We like the skating. He's strong. He's a physical guy that not fighting wise, but he finishes his check. And like I said, I'm looking forward to see Miles back in the lineup. And he showed signs of what he did in Tulsa, but obviously our depth kind of held him back a little bit. But we're expecting big things from him this year.
Ben Carroll, he was a constant back there. He and Les were good. You had the defensive style shutdown guy, and Ben Carroll blocked a lot of shots. Was very smart in his own end, and Les, put up the points. I know it felt good to get Carroll signed again, knowing what you're getting from him.
Yeah, he's just a really low maintenance player. You don't have to overcoach him. He knows the game. He's smart. He knows, he's one of those players. If he makes a mistake, he knows it. You don't have to, beat him over the head with it. He just goes out and plays a strong, steady game, and a real dependable game. And the second half of the season, he teamed up to play against the other team's first line. So it's good to get him back in the lineup and get him back signed, and we can really count on him.
People ask, questions all the time. I'm not asking you to tell me who, but are we getting close on an affiliation, or do you think that'll happen sometime in the next few weeks?
Well, I was hoping we're going to be able to announce something today or this week. So I'm waiting for a call back. Hopefully I get a call this afternoon, to finalize things and see exactly where we're at. We're not going to get a lot of players. I know that, we could only start out with just a couple and maybe get some more later, but we're still working through that.
And fans always ask too about a goalie. We had some good ones here last year. Talk if you would about the potential of anybody coming back. I know people ask about Marat quite a bit. What's his status?
Well, Marat's our property, and I guess you can read between the lines. If he hasn't signed somewhere else, you can pretty much assume that he's signing with us. And I'm not sure we're talking about the guys that we haven't announced yet, but Marat is the kind of guy that he's in top shape. He works his butt off. He's a serious guy, and we know he can stop the puck. Last year in the playoffs, we went with the veteran guys because in those short series, it's hard to go, rotate guys around. But if Marat is back with us, I'm sure we're going to get a real good season out of him.
Last week, you took your son down to Houston. Now you're on a trip up, obviously at Boston Airport here this morning, taking Lily to Providence.
No, we're coming back. We dropped her off. She's there. And
I was just going to ask you what it feels like to be an empty nester.
Well, it's coming up now. So, it's a new thing. And we're used to having them gone at times. Our son's been gone with junior and playing elsewhere. So it's a new, it's a different time of our lives now.
It's got to be hard though to let your baby girl go. It doesn't seem like that long ago that she was riding in the back of the bus with us coming back from a Tulsa trip, just a young kid, and how quickly now things have changed. It's always tough for a dad, because I remember being there myself, watching my daughter get married. It's got to be tough for a dad to let his baby girl go.
I don't know. I mean, she committed in Providence in 9th grade. So we've known this day was coming for a long time, and I'd never been out there. So, I got to take her and it's a great campus, beautiful campus. And they got a brand new rink. So she's excited, and she's living with a bunch of her teammates. And so that's the one thing about when you play sports, you meet people fast. And so she's just staying busy, and she'll be fine.
Give us a scouting report on what Providence is getting in Lily Martinson.
Well, she's a big, strong, physical defenseman. Even for girls, they don't allow hitting, but she's really strong, and she's got a really hard shot. And I think she's one of the top girls in the country for her age group. And it was disappointing that they didn't have, the nationals the last couple of years because of COVID. But I'm expecting her to go in the lineup and do really well this year.
All right, Marty, thanks for doing this. Safe travels.
Sure. All right, bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye now.